It's
So
convoluted.
true. I love that point.
Yeah.
That is the best point. How many times you've been looking for an event and you're like, I could care less about this. I just want to get to what I'm interested in. I really have wished that there was a way to narrow it down. I just want to click a drop down menu and just go straight to yoga or go straight to music or something like that.
Right.
Hi, I'm here today with a good friend, a dear friend of mine that runs a company called WellTime. We met. I was really excited about the work that WellTime does because it filled a gap. Me as a practitioner, as a yoga teacher, a meditation teacher, sound healer, I'm always looking for a place to hold retreats, workshops, and try to find things like that. So it sounds like WellTime is the answer for that. So I'm really excited to have Huron Nicholson joining me today, and he'll give us a little idea about his philosophy because, you know, this is the age of entrepreneurship. A lot of people are out there trying to find their passion and then really find what inspires them, and I really think that that's what WellTime is for him, and he'll tell you more, but that's just my opinion of it. So welcome, Huron. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Astrid. I appreciate it.
Yeah, so first of all, what's the first thing you want to say to the audience today? What comes to mind?
Well, just a little bit about me. I actually have a corporate background, have been in leadership for many years, actually. And about 5 years ago, I got to a point where I wanted to take my mentorship of others to another level. Outside of corporate, so I became a certified life and wellness coach. So what happened through that journey of coaching and leading people, to meet their goals, what ended up happening is I began to draw in and see a lot of clients who were wellness practitioners or in the wellness industry to some degree, who were very interested in spreading their craft to their respective niche in the market and building their client base.
Okay.
So what I would find is with a lot of clients, they knew exactly what they wanted to do. They're great at what they do, but it's the kind of the goal setting and getting from point A to point B along that journey to building their wellness practice was a main challenge, and that's essentially where the idea for WellTime was born. It was about 3 years ago, and I had this idea to basically provide and to act and serve as a resource for both wellness practitioners, wellness consumers, and wellness facilities. So yoga studios, gyms, and so forth. So every facet of the wellness industry essentially is ultimately what WellTime serves. We actually act as the kind of the connector.
I
to
love
where,
that, yeah.
The connector of sorts. So you have a lot of folks who are interested in achieving, whatever their version of wellness is, but all of the pieces are so spread out and disparate to where it's really difficult to locate and identify where those are. On the other side of things, you have the practitioners who are ready and willing to help, but very often they don't have the space to actually conduct their classes and retreats, and it's very difficult to find space.
Right.
So
I know that's why your business resonated with me so powerfully.
Yeah, and just to that point, it's been great, kind of assisting and working with you to actually help you locate a space. But back to what I was saying a second ago, the ultimate challenge, one of the biggest challenges for practitioners, is finding space and being able to actually find the right geography or multiple geographies. Maybe you want to actually expand your business into an area that you don't live, or you want to teach or instruct in multiple areas. So ultimately, I want to support. What we do is actually support practitioners in that regard. And on the facility side, so you have facilities who are really struggling. Many of them are struggling to maximize revenues, so they have a lot of empty space that's not being used all the time. Similarly, they have a lot of they have business goals themselves, but they are struggling to get from point A to point B.
Gotcha.
So with wellness resources and building membership and finding their footprint in the community. So that's where WellTime comes in. We actually connect with facility owners, practitioners, and consumers to kind of serve as the connector to create this ecosystem of just one leg helping and supporting the other in growth. So we step in and we act as kind of as consultants in a way to help you achieve whatever your goals are on either side of the equation. So
I know you've helped me tremendously because I love how you're bringing all of it together. There's, like you said, it's disjointed in the wellness industry. I feel like fitness and other niches have it on lock, but to have a portal where there can be cross collaboration even, I think that was one of the points that WellTime was looking to do that I have not seen, is to actually bring the practitioners and create collaboration and create a community of people together.
Right, exactly. It's all about partnership and collaboration, as well as community and integration. And there's no one size fits all, solution for achieving wellness or even serving wellness to the community. There's a lot of variation, and ultimately there's just with it being so separated and kind of segmented, and there's these cutoffs in regards to what's accessible and how to access it. Essentially you need kind of a unifier, and that's where WellTime.
I love that
that's
unifier.
Where WellTime steps in. Yeah.
Well, what I love is that you've helped me. So, for example, once I met with Euron and I told him that I feel like I'm the quintessential Los Angeles person. I have a multitude of things that I do that I'm interested in. And I was telling him I was struggling to find a retreat center. Years ago, it was so easy to find retreat centers, but unfortunately, Southern California, with all the fires, just the last 8 years, we really have been pelted. So the amount of facilities available have become very competitive. So it's hard to find a space. And I remember talking to you about it. He literally took that to heart, and so we're working on an amazing location that is mind-blowing that I never would have known existed if WellTime hadn't helped me find it. So
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, it's that's really exactly what we want to do. You essentially had a very specific idea and vision for your retreat, and very often, your needs are, again, one size does not fit all. So your needs are very specific to your business and your client base and your culture and the culture that you're trying to create with your business, et cetera. So very often those needs are very tailored and specific, and that's where WellTime comes in. We actually connect and partner, and I think the key word being partnership. We partner with you to actually carry out your dream.
Because I felt like you really heard what I was saying. I think that's because I come from corporate as well. And so I think that experience is invaluable. I'm also a life coach as well. So you virtually coached me through the process, but I think the strength comes in is that I was really heard, and that was so refreshing to me, because the location and everything that I said I was looking for it's perfect, really.
Right. Well, no, I'm happy to hear that. That actually makes me extremely happy. Because it's ultimately what we are here to do. In addition to kind of just serving both practitioners and facilities, again, we have the consumer piece, and that's where WellTime will develop a solid footprint and grounding in the communities that we.
Tell me more about that. I'm not sure what that actually means.
So basically, there are a lot of community events and wellness events that happen throughout every community. Very often, people aren't aware of them, right?
Right.
What WellTime does is we actually serve as a conductor and a channel to actually connect people to those events, and in essence, to bring and connect them to the practitioners in their area.
So you'd be the one source. So like, for example, Facebook,
Right.
they have an events section.
Yeah.
But unless you're paying attention to the
Right.
event section and the way the events scroll through, like the
Right.
other day, I was like, there was an event. I was like,
Right.
oh gosh, I missed this event.
Right.
It's one of those you have to stay on top of. But if we
Yeah.
were in the WellTime portal, we always know that
Exactly.
you're going to be able to see what's
Exactly.
happening.
Exactly.
That's wonderful.
You'll be able to see what's happening, and you don't have to sift through things that don't really pertain to wellness. Right now, everything is
So
convoluted.
true. I love that point.
Yeah.
That is the best point. How many times you've been looking for an event and you're like, I could care less about this. I just want to get to what I'm interested in. I really have wished that there was a way to narrow it down. I just want to click a drop down menu and just go straight to yoga or go straight to music or something like that.
Right. And that's exactly what WellTime is here to do. And also just from the standpoint of facilitating information and exchange and education in all areas of wellness. So we're not just talking about fitness and weightlifting and weight training. We're talking about children's sports programs and facilities to actually facilitate those efforts. We're talking about meditation centers. We're talking about massage, massage therapy. Yoga, of course. So it's essentially the breadth of what we do. It actually spans virtually every stream of wellness, which is an amazing thing.
That is amazing.
Yeah,
I love that. It seems so simple, like that this should have been around a long time ago. And I did want to ask you though, because I've been in corporate, has it been a wish in your heart to be an entrepreneur and do your own thing, or did this just kind of fall in your lap? I don't know if you guys are, but I'm not clear. Like, you have a beautiful career, you have a work for, your corporate career has been wonderful. So what led you to want to do WellTime?
Well,
like really, truly.
You know what? I came about 5 years ago. I kind of came to a point where I began looking around, in corporate. I think I was actually sitting in a meeting at the time. I was in the boardroom. And it just dawned on me that there was something missing. And then I think that's about when I decided to just start asking.
You weren't being fulfilled.
There was something.
You felt empty.
There was a level of discontentment. I was, I've been super blessed, in that regard, as far as my career. But ultimately, I began to question my purpose and what I'm truly here to do. And a part of what I was already doing was my purpose, as it turns out. So
what was that as it turned out? What did that turn out
it was
to be?
leadership and mentorship.
Gotcha.
So that essentially is what led me to developing this desire and thirst for coaching and helping people connect to close the distance between where they are and where they want to be.
Gotcha.
Ultimately. So that is what led me to coaching, and coaching is what led me to wellness. So I'm very much into meditating and yoga and
that's
and
what I love.
practices.
Like, not only are you doing WellTime, you actually yourself are a practitioner. I think that's definitely where I connected with what you're doing, because it's more authentic. It comes through as so clear and authentic. You've been to the events, you meditate, you write, you read. I feel like everything that you're trying to do with WellTime, you like embody.
Yeah.
So I think that's really great.
And it's an absolute, it's a personal labor of love is what I'll call it. This is not something that is, a job. This is like my passion and how I live my life. I'm very much into wellness. I'm very much into external fitness as well as internal fitness, right?
Nice.
And that's, I think, what is ultimately is missing from a lot of lives. So what I want to do is just connect people with the resources that are needed to feed their mind, body, and spirits, right? So that's how I live my life, and that's essentially what is what the DNA of WellTime is.
I think that's what makes WellTime so powerful. You have all these fitness organizations, certification organizations, and behind it, they don't actually work out.
Right.
They don't know what it's like to lose the weight themselves, and so it just becomes more machine.
Yeah.
And I think that you're onto something really great.
Yeah,
really powerful.
And the one thing I will add to that is, folks are often, they have these goals, right, to achieve these external, kind of, achievements. But what happens is when you, and so many people that I've encountered, clients and otherwise, who are pursuing, physical fitness, they also all of a sudden want to, engage in nutrition, and really get their diets right. And then they want to engage in yoga and more mindfulness practices. And it just has not been easy to really connect those and to really find them and locate the right resources to fit your specific, arrangement of wellness needs. So that's where WellTime, really to me is where we'll come in and to help folks literally find their combination of
I love it.
Yeah,
I think it's amazing. The individual, the facilities, literally the world. You're bringing this whole thing together.
Thank you. Thank you.
Any last things you want to say before we wrap up? Any?
Well, no, not the only thing I will say is to check out WellTime. And by the way, it's WellTime, TYME.
I love that. Yeah.
You can check out welltime.com, or we also have social media accounts on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. For you to actually check out, and the content is building, followership is building, and WellTime will absolutely become a pretty common name in the wellness community. So thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
It's been my absolute pleasure. So thank you. I mean, it really has been wonderful to see it come to life and actually live it with you and get to experience really how the service actually works. So. Yeah, I look forward to seeing you grow, and you guys, you're doing amazing work, and I thank you so much, because I wish this was around 20 years ago when I started teaching and became a practitioner. Yeah, thank you again.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
namaste.